Ado, it is time for more from the celebrated, beloved, and frankly amazing singer who's set so many trends in Japan. And we are continuing our track by track listen through to Zanmu with the song, oh god, I've just read it and I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. Eien no Akuruhi? Oh good, it's in Japanese afterwards. Akuruhi. Okay, right, okay. Do you know what? I am not even that good at sight reading Japanese. I'm pretty good, but I'm not that good at sight reading Japanese. There's plenty of kanji I still don't know. But I tell you what, ask anyone who's like learning Japanese even. Once you start learning it, if you see something Japanese written in like English letters or Romanized letters, it's so much harder to read than just if you've got like the hiragana there. So, akuruhi. So much easier. Anyway, yes. Enough of my waffle about my inadequacies as someone who's spent over 10 years living in Japan and still my Japanese reading is mediocre. Anyway, let's jump in with the latest track from Zanmu. I mean, apologies again that this track by track's been taking me a little bit longer than I wanted to because a lot of moving around recently, a lot of like things going on, but I'm enjoying this as always. When I go to listen to any of the tracks, you know, I start like I have done today, start another sit down session listening to this album. I went back and I checked out the last two songs again, All Night Radio, Himawari, try to get my head back in that space. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting because the album has so many like punchy high points. I mean, obviously if we go back to like I'm a Controversy and Rebellion, these were really punchy songs, and you know, a lot of things earlier on in the album, but at this point, the album's kind of settled into a little bit more of a safe space. You know, All Night Radio is this really fun song, but it's kind of got like a old school funk feel that's very predictable. Then we had Himawari, which is a beautiful song, but very much a classic J-pop style arrangement. And thus, here we are. So, I'm going to enjoy this. Funny thing in Mirror, I remember... so I know this leads into Mirror, and Mirror, I remember checking that out when it came out. It's a couple of years ago now, wasn't it? That was actually during the point when this reaction channel was temporarily shut down. Thanks, band who shall not be named. And as a result, you know, this was during that period. So that was one that I did over on my other channel. So yeah, that was a couple of years ago Mirror came out. But anyway, let's go. Let's check out this one again. Following on from Himawari, don't know what to expect. And with Mirror following afterwards, it's going to be interesting. It's 4 minutes and 7 seconds of Ado. So well, it's going to be interesting. I keep on saying interesting. It's going to be a beautiful display of artistic and musical endeavor, blah, blah, blah. Let's go.
恋をしてしまった涙の後洗う雨は虹の予告編だなぜ
loving that
君が
delicate feeling.
ここにいないんだろう世界一有名な言葉強がって恨んでみたりララララ
Oh, that's lovely.
ララ
Oh, I kind of want this song to stay delicate. 'That's a very pretty chorus, though. I'm kind of getting a bit of an Irish folk song vibe underneath this.
時間を止めたね1秒
You're just seeing a little bit of gating in the production there. The sound totally dropped out. Just a little bit, totally.
言えなかったよ君だけがいなくて永遠のあくる日みたい神様それは
I love the slow build up.
理じゃないかまるでベタな映画のエンドロールで愛してる愛してる愛してるなんて正しい
I like how you get this big triumphant first bit of the melody and then it drops down to the little bit more struggle in that second part there.
聞き飽き
I
た
love that
でしょ
feeling.
ありふれた言葉それでもロックバンドもアイドル歌手も愛してる愛してるだだ
だ That sort of skipping swing rhythm with the piano bouncing over
どう
the
し
top.
て言わずにいられないんだろう
Relaxing.
愛してる愛してる愛してる同じ言葉繰り返している愛してる愛してる愛してるまるで映画のエンドロールだったな最後の君の笑顔はそれでも僕らは愛してる愛してる愛してる懲りずに飽きずにラブラブラブラブラブラブ愛してる
Wow. Yeah, that's I've got to be honest, that's a genuinely really beautiful song. I really enjoyed that. So much so that I'm going to take a little bit of an unusual left turn with this one. And I'm going to have a quick look and see if I can find the lyrics in English quickly. Let's just see if they have been, because I got like little hints of what was going on there. Again with my Japanese being what it is, I could sort of like pick up a fair amount of it, but I just kind of want to like get a proper see if I can see what the actual lyrics actually are. Let's just load this up real quickly. I will talk about the song as well in a second, but oh, sorry, the image froze for a second there. I will talk about the song in a second, but I just want to have a quick look, see what we got here. So, Rainbow, famous. Okay. So. Okay, so if I were honest about this one, because I want to talk a lot about how I thought this was genuinely a really, really beautiful song. I will be honest, I mean, a lot of the time I don't react to lyrics for a reason, which is that I got to be honest, even I think lyrics are very subjective. Like sometimes a song can really hit you in a personal way. What happened there? That was weird. Lyrics can hit you in a very personal way. So a lot of the time, if I hear a song, usually from a reviewing point of view, I can review it as what do I think of the lyrics or what do I think of them personally. I look at those lyrics and I think that's actually kind of beautiful, but I got to be honest, I probably wouldn't give too much credit for the lyrics. They do look like, I wouldn't say the lyrics are wow. They just seem to be in keeping with the song. So for me, it's more that the song itself, I think, conveys more emotion. And again, don't want to downplay the lyrics. If they mean a lot to you, that's absolutely great. I would feel that they kind of look a bit like generic, emotional lyrics to me. But I think that the way it's delivered and the song is absolutely gorgeous. This, again, it's funny because I've mentioned before how Ado is one of those singers who occasionally she'll have songs where they genuinely feel like, oh my God, that's actually really something very unique. But then sometimes you'll hear her do a song where it just feels like there's a certain style of music or a certain style of melody or ballad or something or ethos that she wants to have a go at. And this is probably why obviously she also does a lot of cover songs, as we know, which is actually kind of cool to see as well, bringing her sound to different songs that obviously were originally by different artists. In this particular case, this is one of those songs where although it's her song, although it's an Ado song on an Ado album, it definitely feels like she's trying to evoke a certain style of emotional ballad, and I think that she's absolutely nailed it here. Everyone involved in this, I mean, it's a little bit hard to read, but you can see the people who've done the lyrics and music. Oh my God, that's Tenioha? It's really hard to read. Are there actually proper credits on here? I don't know. Spending half the time reading stuff rather than talking to you guys, but here we go. Yeah, Tenyoha. Okay, so Tenyoha, massive credit for the just the beautiful Edogawa Sampo, walking around Edogawa. Okay, really credit for the just beautiful arrangement for this. It definitely was, rather than reinventing the wheel or trying to do anything different, it was very evocative of a kind of an old school ballad. I would say it lent more in a Western direction. I felt certain, maybe slightly in the swinging 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, that tripleted rhythm that's going underneath it all. That kind of gave it to me a feeling I felt very much like an Irish folk song. I mean, I'm not Irish myself, but a lot of my family is. And so as a result, it's probably that's just where my head originally automatically goes to. So it might just kind of invoke the feeling of folk songs as a general to different people from different parts of the world. But I would say that kind of immediately evoked that feeling for me. And then you've got the beautiful piano. And the beginning of the song is so delicate. The way it starts is so gentle that in a way I would have been happy for it just to continue like that. Of course, we end up with the big chorus, and the big chorus is beautiful. And I was actually thinking at the end, when I got to the end, and after making that statement at the beginning in the first verse, I was thinking, would I have preferred it to stay that way? I don't know. I think this song could have gone two very different directions. I think we're so used to hearing Ado always does a big chorus in every song that as a result, I guess it's almost a little bit predictable that it went in that direction. But if we isolate the context of Ado's other work and just look at this song on its own, then yeah, I think the big chorus probably was the best direction, because this is a song that obviously decided to have a lot of emotional punch. It's conveying a lot of feeling. And so you need to have that moment where the delicacy is contrasted by the big sort of push of emotion, the big expression there. But what's interesting about that is, again, I feel this is another one of those songs that really highlights that skill that Ado is more and more showing, where, I mean, we all know that she can blast out the microphone, do something crazy. I mean, I adored that recent first take version she did of Usiwa and things like this. It's great that she can do that, but it is also amazing to hear the fact that she can do these restrained performances where she's singing with a lot of emotion, but she's not sort of stretching her voice or anything. She's just using the innate power that she has to express something with a good sort of positive, heartfelt energy. And I think that's a real quality. You don't have to show that your song, your voice and your lyrics are expressing real heartfelt emotion. You don't have to sing to breaking point every time. And again, this is something where I've become more and more impressed the more I've listened to Ado's album tracks, just hearing how much of that is the case, because I think a lot of the time the singles, the ones that become the singles, are not always, but very often the ones that get the big music videos, the big anime tie-ins, they're often the ones where she's singing to that stretched voice, because as great as she is at doing that, that's kind of the thing that also is her it's like her recognizable signature. It's what a lot of people go to her. It's also part of the trend of a certain style of singing that she really helped to kind of proliferate, to almost invent. She really was a trendsetter to this particular style of singing that she still is the primary best example of. So for me, listening to this, I just felt that this was a really great example of her showing that other side that maybe is not quite as so much the thing that people come to her for, but that her just pure skill level shows us, which is her ability to do songs where she can just sing with this very beautiful, kind of controlled, emotional, expression. And I really like that. I thought it was beautiful. It kind of gave it a maturity. The song felt, and it just made the song feel more mature. It made it feel really honest and beautiful. And again, the fact that you had that swing rhythm, when you're playing on a swing rhythm where you got like tripleted 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, when you've got that kind of lying underneath every beat, what that does, it actually gives the musicians a lot of room to just play a little bit differently, just play a little bit off beat, because it gives you a slightly irregular sort of framework to build your performance around. And I did like how you really felt that, especially in the piano. It was beautiful how that kind of skipped over the beat gorgeously. This was just lovely. I think it was great. Gave great work for little nuances and delicacies to appear in the musicianship. Obviously, again, don't get me wrong, this is not the kind of song that I would expect most people who are drawn to Ado's music to necessarily go, oh, that's why I love Ado. This is peak Ado, or anything like that. I also do agree that it's not a song that is especially original. It's certainly going to be something where you're probably going to be able to think off the top of your head of a bunch of other songs that are of a similar style. However, I think that it knows what it's going for and it achieves it very well. Personally, I have a little bit of a soft spot for this. You know, I've already heard other Ado ballads which I've said similar things about, where maybe they didn't hit me as much. So I think there is probably a little bit of just a personal subjective bias towards just the sound this is going for, where I personally really enjoy it. But yeah, this is a song that I would probably come back to. Even in isolation, I would probably come back to this song on its own. Certainly is a great compliment to the album. I can probably see that I would be more positively biased towards this than most people, but I really enjoyed this. And so far, this is probably... there's a lot of great songs on this album, but this is probably one of my favourites thus far. I don't think anything's quite beaten I'm a Controversy yet, which is so weird, because that's not... There's so many things about that song where it doesn't have a lot of the other... qualities that make so much of this album so great, and yet on its own it's this weird little oddball that I absolutely love. Again, I have a abnormal subjective bias towards that song, but there's some great stuff on here. Funny thing is that Dignity was also a big ballad, a very different type of ballad, but a big ballad. I would have to go back and listen to it, but I think Dignity was great, but I think I probably would like this even more. I think this one I liked even more than Dignity. That was kind of like a power ballad, though. But yeah, this has been a great album so far. As always, we will continue going. Mirror, it's so long since I did that, and I did a sort of a off the cuff review rather than a reaction to that, because like I said, the reaction channel was closed at the time. So I don't know if I'm gonna. I feel like if I go back and do another reaction to that, I feel like people are going to think that I'm view farming. So I don't know. I mean, let me know in the comments if you think I should do a reaction to Mirror. Let me know. I might just record one, and if I have something worthwhile to say, then I'll upload it. But I don't want to just upload something for the sake of getting clicks. So I'll think about that. Let me know if you want me to, and I'll try and remember to link down below the review I did of that. If I forget, then it's on the other channel. This is Bucker Breakdown. Bucker Broadcast is the review channel, and it's from a couple of years back on that. So if you go to that one and check out Mirror, then you'll find it. Anyway, it's all linked around this page. Anyway, thanks so much for checking this out. As always, get in the comments, tell me what you think, and until I hopefully see you very soon in the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.